Imagine being born into poverty in a gray industrial town where your future is a factory floor, not a global stage. A world where music is your only escape, and one wrong move can ruin everything. But against all odds, one man turned his chaos into legacy. His name was Ozzy Osbourne. This is not just a story about heavy metal. It's about survival, redemption, madness, and music that refused to die. John Michael Osbourne was born on December 3rd, 1948, in a modest two-bedroom home in Aston, a working-class neighborhood in Birmingham, England. He was the fourth of 6 children. His father worked night shifts at a car factory. His mother was a factory worker. Life was hard. Money was tight. Ozzy struggled in school. He battled undiagnosed dyslexia and relentless bullying. Teachers wrote him off as a lost cause. He left school at 15, bouncing between dead-end jobs, slaughterhouse worker, car horn tuner, and even a failed burglar. He was once caught after stealing a TV and leaving it outside because it was too heavy to carry. Then everything changed the moment he heard the Beatles' She Loves You. Ozzy knew, in that moment, music was his escape. In 1968, a local music shop had a handwritten flyer. Vocalist available, Ozzy Zig needs a gig. It caught the eye of guitarist Tony Iommi and bassist Geezer Butler. They formed a band with drummer Bill Ward, initially calling themselves Earth. One day, they stood outside a cinema and noticed crowds lined up for a horror film. They had an idea. Why not make music that scared people? The band changed its name to Black Sabbath. They slowed the blues down, tuned their instruments lower, and embraced lyrics about war, death, and the occult. In 1970, their self-titled debut album shocked the world. The follow-up, Paranoid, included instant classics like Iron Man and War Pigs. A new genre was born, heavy metal. Ozzy's voice, raw, untrained, otherworldly, was at the center of it all. Black Sabbath skyrocketed. They sold millions of records. Fans adored them. Critics feared them. Parents banned them. Ozzy became the face of rebellion. But behind the scenes, the drugs, alcohol, and exhaustion were mounting. By the late 70s, Ozzy was spiraling. His addictions grew worse, and his ability to perform declined. He missed rehearsals. He lashed out. He blacked out. In 1979, his bandmates finally made the painful decision. They fired him. Ozzy was devastated. Alone in a hotel room, he spiraled deeper into addiction. He thought it was the end. But fate had other plans. Sharon Arden, the daughter of Sabbath's manager, refused to let Ozzy fade away. She believed in him more than he believed in himself. She helped him form a new band. With young guitar prodigy Randy Rhoads by his side, Ozzy released Blizzard of Oz in 1980. The album was a triumph. Crazy Train became an anthem. Suddenly, the world remembered why Ozzy mattered. Then came the infamous moment in 1982. A fan threw a bat on stage in Des Moines, Iowa. Thinking it was a toy, Ozzy bit his head off. It wasn't a toy. It was real. He was rushed to the hospital for rabies shots. The headlines exploded. The myth of Ozzy Osbourne was now larger than the man himself. That same year, he was arrested in Texas for urinating on a national monument near the Alamo while wearing Sharon's dress. The chaos followed him, but so did the music. Diary of a Madman, Bark of the Moon, and No More Tears solidified him as a solo icon. Ozzy wasn't just back. He was unstoppable. In 1982, tragedy struck when Randy Rhoads died in a freak plane accident. Ozzy was heartbroken. He spiraled again but kept performing. Through the 80s and 90s, he toured relentlessly, even as his demons returned in waves. But in 2002, Ozzy did the unthinkable. He invited cameras into his home. The Osbournes aired on MTV and became an overnight phenomenon. Viewers were shocked and charmed by the foul-mouthed rock god who couldn't work the remote or speak to his dog without subtitles. The show humanized Ozzy. He wasn't just a prince of darkness. He was Dad, fumbling through suburban life with Sharon, Kelly, Jack, and a house full of chaos. The world fell in love with him all over again. In the 2000s, Ozzy survived more than just addiction. He battled a quad bike crash that nearly paralyzed him, multiple staph infections, and eventually a Parkinson's diagnosis in 2020. He went public with it, saying, "For all my complaining, I'm still alive." By 2025, his health had deteriorated to the point where he could no longer walk. But the fire in him still burned. That's when Sharon announced something special, one final concert. Back to the beginning, a farewell show at Villa Park in Birmingham. On July 5th, 2025, thousands of fans gathered for a 9-hour celebration. Ozzy was wheeled onto the stage, seated on a Gothic black throne shaped like a bat. His voice, though weathered, still pierced the air. Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward joined him for a full Black Sabbath reunion. The crowd cried. The band cried. Ozzy cried. In the middle of the show, his daughter Kelly's fiancé, Sid Wilson of Slipknot, proposed backstage. It was a moment of love, family, and full circle grace. Ozzy Osbourne didn't just make music. He made a movement. He sold over 100 million records. He helped invent a genre. He inspired Metallica, Iron Maiden, Marilyn Manson, and generations of rebels. His song Crazy Train is still blasted in arenas around the world. He's a 2-time Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, a Grammy winner, a cultural icon. But more than that, Ozzy showed us what survival looks like. He fell, again and again, but he always got back up. Today, Ozzy lives quietly with Sharon. No more tours, no more chaos, just peace. But if you listen closely, you can still hear the echo of his voice in every scream of a guitar. You can still feel the thunder of his spirit in every stadium crowd. Because legends don't die. They evolve. Ozzy Osbourne didn't just ride the crazy train. He built it, and he took the whole world along for the ride.